gonna hide. Pop and get it swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Pop and get it swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Pop and get it swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream.
All right, hello everyone, Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so with that all being said, we have another case of self-defense, okay, that people are already having controversy over. So we're going to get into that momentarily. Okay, so let's see who all is in here. Hello, Hadassah, Lillian X, Bronze Flat Power God, 504 Nola. All right, Claudette, Deronda, We the People, Dark Tube, Nessie X. All right, let's get into it. Everybody hit that like button. I see you, Buckhorse DC. Okay. Anita Harrell is here. All right, Quiet Storm. I see you, beloved. Lady Painter, Bronze Flat Power God. Did I say you? Okay, so Adwael, hey. Cherokee Descendant Dale. All right, Ashkan is here. Okay, so let's get into it. Everybody hit that like button, like, share, subscribe, all that. And also, if you have not been receiving those notifications, double check to make sure that you're still subscribed. Okay, March, baby. Okay, so now Mr. Elevation shall beat. I see you all. Okay, so now, hey, Zoo Tours. Let's have a brief word from our sponsor at 12 Tribes, and then we'll get started. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find her products at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she sells beard oil, and there's a sale tomorrow, okay, for the 4th of July. Now, with that all being said, do you all remember, because this video has recently resurfaced, it's a few years old because I remember reporting on it when it happened. But do you all remember the video of the 9-year-old little white boy who went to the black woman's door looking for her daughter, and he had a whip, hitting on the door with a whip? Do y'all remember that?
Little boy, you better get your ass from off my porch beating on my door like this. I call the police. You need to leave.
A 9-year-old white boy in Texas threatened his black neighbor with a whip on Thursday afternoon. When Karisha Nash was at home, the neighbor's boy angrily rushed to her doorstep and whipped the door.
When I look on the doorbell camera, I can see, he actually has a whip.
Kalissa opened the door and confronted the boy, saying that the boy was planning to attack her daughter because he was dissatisfied with her.
I will call the police. You need to leave. Don't you ever be on my goddamn door like that. Go.
Kalissa is not sure about the specific reason why the boy came to find her daughter, but she claimed that after the boy was scolded and left, he scratched her car with a whip.
What's a dude scratching out something that you can fill in or buff away?
After learning of the situation, the girl's father, Nash, went to confront the boy's father, Brian Thomas.
As soon as he opens the door, I see that he has a weapon behind his back and he's leaning up against the doorway.
Nash tried to explain the situation to Brian.
Little boy, you better get your ass from off my porch.
Just further proof that racism and hate is taught. Okay, now that video, like I said, it has recently resurfaced because a friend of mine sent it to me a couple of days ago, and I said, this is an old story. I reported this like years ago. And he was like, oh, I just heard about it. And then now I'm seeing it all over social media. So I'm just guessing that the reason it's probably making its rounds again is because of the racial tension and, people teaching their children to be hateful. Okay, that's what it seems like. I mean, why would he go and knock on their door with a whole whip? Whatever gave him that idea? Clearly he was taught that, okay? He's supposed to be a baby massa. Okay, make it all make sense. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting that that's come back up. Okay, so now with that being said, let's talk about Ben Crump, because he held a press conference for the June 14th death of 1-year-old Kohen Wiley, okay, who was shot and killed by the Senatobia police in Mississippi. So during the press conference, he announced that the independent forensic review classified the toddler's death as a homicide, noting that the bullet entered the right side of the child's chest and exited through the left. Okay, so we're going to go to just a little bit of the press conference. We're not going to watch the whole thing. And people can say what they want, but Benjamin Crump gets these people their money, because sometimes that's all you can get, specifically when it's police officers, because they very seldom get criminal charges put on them when they take out people. I mean, they just are so protected. So that's the least that can be done in many cases. So I don't know why people are always just going in on Benjamin Crump as if he has the ability to force the prosecutors to file charges against these police officers.
And determination. Now, Heavenly Father, when each one of us in this building today, when each one of us will have contributed our strength, when we will have contributed our knowledge toward the path of righteousness, oh, merciful God, we will seek a place within that kingdom. These petitions we submit this morning, in your darling Son, Jesus' name, we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much to Minister Kathy for allowing us to be here in his cathedral as we fight for justice. Thank you to Brother Jones for that fervent prayer. We are very grateful. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Van Turner and Kareem Ali. We have the honor of representing the family of baby Kohen. Yes. We also have present with us his grandparents, Carlos and LaShonda. And we know this is going to be an extremely emotional press conference. His parents are still grieving. Obviously, they had the funeral services on Saturday, and this is a lot on any parent, especially young parents. And so keep them in prayer as we continue to fight for justice. We also have attorney Evan O'Sheehan, who's consulting with us today from Seattle, Washington on our legal team. But as I said before, we're all in this together. We have community activists, community leaders. We're all together. We have Marcus Keefe, who's been fighting from day one with the family. We have Patrick Lumumba, who's been fighting with the family in the community. And most importantly, we have you all. You all, we're here together to stand up for baby Cohen. We're here to speak up for baby Cohen. And we're here to fight for baby Cohen. Justice for baby Cohen. Justice for baby Cohen. Justice for baby Cohen. Because today it was Felicia's and Devion's baby, but if we don't stand up to get justice for their baby, then tomorrow it can be your baby. So we fighting for all our babies. And we are here because on June 14th, and it's been over 2 weeks now, right, Attorney Turner? We have been demanding transparency. We have been demanding transparency so we can get to the truth of why a San Antonio police officer felt the need to shoot inside of a moving vehicle that he knew had 2 adults and an infant child that they called a juvenile. They reported they witnessed 2 adults and this child getting into the vehicle, but yet he saw fit to shoot into a moving vehicle when he knew a baby was there. And the reason we're fighting for transparency so we can get to the truth is so we can have some accountability, so we can get to justice for baby Cohen and trust for the community. Now follow me. It is really critical that we all understand why we're here. You see,
I lost 110 pounds. You couldn't tell at all because of my excess skin. So Novella changed that.
they want us to believe that it was a life or death situation, because that's the only way you can justify shooting into a vehicle that you know there's a baby in that car. So they gotta be able to show us, to convince us that it was a life or death situation where the use of deadly force was warranted. And sisters and brothers, they told us that, but they have not showed us that. And so we're here fighting for transparency. We don't need you to narrate it for us. Black people got eyes, we can see just like you all can see. If you saw the video, why can't you show us the video?
Okay, everyone, please be mindful of what you put in the chat. I know this makes us angry, but be careful of what you say. You don't want to land in jail for comments posted to ScrewTube.
Unless that video contradicts what you're trying to tell us, and that it was not a life or death situation, that it was not warranted that you shoot into a vehicle where you know an infant child is in the vehicle. And so, y'all, I can only imagine, Carlos and LaShonda, the lack of peace in your soul every night y'all go to sleep not knowing why this officer killed your grandbaby. And it is critically important to understand that we're having this press conference today to announce the results of our preliminary autopsy review.
Now, at this point, I'm going to fast forward to the preliminary autopsy review because we're not going to watch this whole thing. I really want to move on. But tensions are very high in Senatobia because of all of this. People are still very upset, and as they should be. Okay, but does anyone else feel like you're in Jim Crow? Because I literally do. Okay, through the whole Carmelo Anthony thing, and now this, like, I literally feel like I have gone back in time, okay, to 1955, somewhere in that era. I'm so serious. Like, this is all so crazy that these things are still happening in 2026. And it's not that I'm shocked, it's just that I am so annoyed. And like, it is so crazy that these people have not advanced, evolved, or gotten out of their hatefulness in all this time. And so that's how you know they never will. It is absolutely sickening. I feel like I'm in the movie with that whole Carmelo trial. It just felt like To Kill a Mockingbird. If any of you guys have ever seen that movie or read the book, it also reminded me of A Time to Kill. Like, this stuff is just all so crazy. But anyway, let's continue. I'm going to fast forward, like I said.
Thoracic organs, the heart, the lungs, the aorta, and the esophagus are likely to have been severely injured to cause the fatality of the infant baby, Kohen Wiley. What he's saying is because they had already had the autopsy and he did not reopen the baby's body, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations did an autopsy before they embalmed the baby. And it's no mystery as to the cause of death, but he was determining the entry wound and the exit wound. And he said because he did not reopen the baby's body, he cannot conclude that the bullet, whether it hit the baby's heart or the baby's lungs or the baby's aorta or the baby esophagus. But we know because the baby was killed that some of those vital organs was hit by the bullet of this police officer.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I can only imagine the excruciating pain that that child was in and the trauma that the mother must have been experiencing holding that baby in her arms as it was bleeding and in all of that agony. Like, this stuff is just absolutely deplorable. Okay, and let us not forget about the recent lynchings that they want to call uicides, okay, aka self-deletions. Okay, I just want y'all to think about all of this stuff that's going on. Like, Black people are literally attacked, and then the devils have the nerve to try to come for us. Like, it takes a whole lot of nerve as far as I'm concerned. Okay, anyway, with that all being said, let's move on. Now, we're going to get to this Walmart thing in just a second, but I'm saving that for last for the people that come in late. But I want to first talk about the CIA. Okay, and these killer experiments that they were doing that Representative Ana Paulina Luna has brought up. She has accused the CIA of intentionally concealing files, destroying evidence regarding the illegal MK Ultra program, and engaging in covert, unethical experiments on unwitting American citizens. Okay, now some specific accusations and claims that she highlighted at a congressional hearing include, but not limited to, destruction of evidence. Now, Luna stated that the men who ran the MK Ultra program, which was a secret agency project from 1953 to 1973, involving mind control techniques, says they did not cooperate with investigators and committed an additional crime by intentionally destroying evidence. Then there was the issue of the secret German facility, where she noted that the committee received information regarding a secret CIA house in Germany where they allegedly tortured subjects as part of MK Ultra. And then the cracking the code on humans. Luna argued that the agency's 25-year effort to control human behavior went much further than the CIA previously admitted to Congress, suggesting that those participating in the program actually succeeded in manipulating human behavior. And then, of course, don't leave out confiscating the classified files. Alongside whistleblower accounts, she accused the CIA of taking back over 40 boxes of classified records relating to MK Ultra and the JFK assassination that were being processed for public release by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, known as the ODNI. Now, you all should remember that because I reported on it. You know, that was Tulsi Gabbard. When they raided Tulsi Gabbard's office months ago, and they took like 40 boxes of unclassified records and documents. That's what that was all about. MK Ultra and the JFK assassination files. And remember, that former CIA agent, John Kiriakou, I believe is his name, he said that Trump would never release the MK Ultra files. I'm sorry, not the MK Ultra. He said Trump would never release the JFK files because if he did, and this is all alleged, but this is what he said, that it would expose is not real. It's having done that. So that's what he said. And I find it interesting that the CIA confiscated those things. And we do know that our CIA is likely the same as their secret intelligence agency, like the same type of people, from the same lineage, if you catch my drift. So I find that very interesting. But let's go to the report. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. And let's not forget about the Venezuelan gang. We got to talk about that as well. So I'm going to share my screen.
In January 1973, the director of the CIA, Richard Helms, prepared to leave office. He personally ordered the destruction of MK Ultra records. The CIA official document in writing states, over my stated objectives, the MK Ultra files were destroyed by the order of DCI Mr. Helms shortly before his departure from office. A separate internal account confirms that Helms telephoned Dr. Gottlieb directly and instructed him to destroy, quote, all files pertaining to drug research and associated activities. Gottlieb compiled 4 people, spent an entire day burning down 152 files. Then Gottlieb had his personal papers destroyed by his secretary before he retired. The head of the CIA-owned records center protested the destruction in writing, but he was overruled. That is obstruction of justice. That is criminal destruction of federal records, and neither individuals were ever charged with a crime for it. Helms received a $2,000 fine for lying to Congress about an unrelated matter and collected his government pension until he died. Gottlieb retired in rural Virginia and wrote poetry. No one went to prison. No victim was ever formally compensated by the government for the harm that they caused. By 1975, the Church Committee and the Rockefeller Commission had already established through sworn testimony and the surviving 1963 Inspector General report that MK Ultra existed and that the CIA had run a program of human experimentation on unwitting Americans. The scope and detail of what we know today is largely because of an accident. In 1977, an archivist diligently complying with a FOIA request discovered 7 boxes of MK Ultra financial records that had been misfiled and escaped the bonfire. Those 7 boxes included the names of institutions, the name of subprojects, the researchers who participated, the specific operation that the CIA had funded, and without them, the vast majority of MK Ultra would only be a rumor, just as Helms and Gottlieb intended. Those 7 boxes revealed that MKUltra comprised at least 149 subprojects, operated across more than 80 institutions, and involved 185 non-government researchers. They revealed that the CIA covertly contributed $375,000 to a hospital research wing, which was approved directly by DCI Alan Dulles, which Richard Helms concurrence, so the agency could use unwitting patients as experimental subjects in what their own documents called a hospital safe house. The CIA's Inspector General said in 1963, his classified report concluded that the program had exceeded the agency's legal chapter, and covert testing on unwitting subjects placed the rights and interests of U.S. citizens in jeopardy. The program ran for a decade that we know of, and they ignored their own watchdog. Let me be clear what I believe that we are dealing with here. Administering drugs to people without their knowledge or consent, subjecting humans to psychological torture, and using prisoners and hospital patients as non-consenting research subjects. These are crimes against humanity. The Central Intelligence Agency committed them, and then the director of the CIA was ordering the destruction of evidence. Today, we will hear from 2 witnesses who have spent years unraveling the cover-up that our government ordered. Stephen Kinzer documented the life and crimes of Sidney Gottlieb in his book, Prisoner of Chief, and Tom O'Neill spent over 20 years investigating what the CIA buried and what they obscured that, in my mind, constitute some of the worst notorious crimes against humanity in the 20th century. Their persistence in the research in this hearing is possible simply because they are patriots. The American people deserve the complete record. The victims and their families deserve acknowledgement, accountability, and justice. And this Congress has a constitutional obligation to make sure that the CIA never does this again. With that, I'm going to be opening up first questions, and I'll hold my questions to the end to Representative Burleson. But before I do pass it, I did want to just note a few weeks ago, we did receive reports. There's some back and forth regarding the CIA and ODNI pertaining to new MKUltra boxes that were discovered. Myself and Representative Burleson did go down to Langley. We did meet with the CIA, and the CIA is currently in the process of declassifying newly found documentation, although the documents, and I feel comfortable enough to share it here, pertain specifically to a forgery program that was being housed under MKUltra. So as soon as those files are released, we will be putting out notification with your help to also comb through some of the newly released documents, but I did want to give you a quick update. Without further ado, I would like to now recognize Representative Eric Burleson for his questions.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded.
Without objection, Representative Perry and Representative Higgins from Pennsylvania and Louisiana is waived on to the committee for the purpose of questioning the witnesses at today's subcommittee hearing. I need the opening statement. Yeah. And I'd like to now recognize Dr. Kinzer and the witnesses for the opening statements. I have to swear them in. Stephen Kinzer is a historian, journalist, and author of Poisoner-in-Chief, Sidney.
Total anonymity. My book, Poisoner-in-Chief, may be the most complete account of MKUltra that exists in public, but I'm painfully aware that I have discovered only a small portion of what MKUltra was and what Sidney Gottlieb did. In 1951, the CIA hired Gottlieb and directed him to launch what became MKUltra. Gottlieb believed that in order to find a way to implant a new mind into someone's brain, you first had to find a way to destroy the mind that was in there already. In its search for ways to destroy a human mind and body, MKUltra conducted the most extreme experiments on human beings that have ever been carried out by a US government agency. By any standard, they qualify as medical torture. These experiments took place in prisons, clinics, and safe houses in the United States, in Europe, in Asia, and even in Latin America. Officers of MKUltra were authorized to travel to foreign countries, preferably those under formal or informal US occupation, and ask the local CIA station to provide them with expendables, human beings who would not be missed if they disappeared.
Wow, did you all hear that? That sounds like the homeless people, okay? He said to provide them with expendables, human beings who would not be missed if they disappeared. How low down is that? Now, D Major says Mrs. Luna is a Republican, so I wonder what her dear leader, Orange Clown, has to say about all of this. Is he going to actually drain the swamp? Beloved, how could he drain the swamp when he's at the bottom of it? Okay, he's literally at the bottom of the swamp. He's not going to drain anything. Okay, he's the main one. And all that stuff he said about drain the swamp was nothing but a load of BS. Okay, clearly him gaslighting everyone because he was all up and through the Epstein files. Okay, over 1 million times he was named. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now we're going to listen to a few more minutes of this. But the fact that they call these people expendables as if their lives meant nothing. And now there is some footage available of these people while they were experimenting or being experimented on with MK Ultra. I've seen the clips. And it does look torturous, okay, like full-on psychological torture. And also, don't forget how I told you all years ago that they actually used some of the Disney films to do these things, movies like Alice in Wonderland, okay? These people are nefarious, but let's continue.
Gottlieb had what amounted to a license to kill issued by the U.S. government. Neither the number of MK Ultra victims nor the number of those who were experimented to death is known. Gottlieb, as a result of this license to kill, might have been the most powerful unknown American of the 20th century. Some information about MK Ultra spilled out during the 1970s, but senior CIA officers had intentionally let Gottlieb operate without supervision. So they were able to claim that they knew nothing about his excesses. This was a way for the CIA to deny its institutional role in MK Ultra and to portray it misleadingly as the product of one man's sadism or excessive zeal. Investigating MK Ultra is challenging because when Gottlieb and his mentor Richard Helms left the CIA in 1973, they illegally ordered that its records be destroyed. Soon afterwards, under DCI Stansfield Turner, a CIA analyst, as you pointed out, Madam Chairman, discovered a cache of MK Ultra documents hidden among financial records. Turner credited that analyst with doing a very diligent job of Sherlock Holmesing. That same diligence, I believe, could bring results today. One of the great mysteries of MK Ultra has to do with the death in 1953 of an MK Ultra scientist, Frank Olson, who had announced his intention to quit the project. His plunge from a New York hotel room was described in the press as the suicide of an Army scientist. He was not an Army scientist. He worked for the CIA.
And then they said he did it to himself. This is after he threatened to quit the project. Now, all of a sudden, he turns up dead, and they say it was self-deletion. Okay, I'm going to conclude this in just a second.
Evidence suggests that his death may not have been a suicide. So there could be hidden documents that could illuminate this case. I would also point out that in addition to searching for unknown documents, this committee could do a tremendous service by simply asking for the end of redactions on the documents that we now have. There are reams of documents about MK Ultra that have heavy sections redacted. In the 1970s, this was justified by the argument that it had only been 20 years since these terrible things had happened and revealing details might affect national security. Now 70 years have passed. That argument can no longer be valid. So I would urge this committee to try to fill out all the blank spaces in the documents that we have, because we know that is there.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. I hope they get to the bottom of it. And that man's last name is Gottlieb, so it's safe to assume that he's one of Benjamin Netanyahu's people, okay, which all makes sense. So now let's talk about this incident that happened at Walmart, shall we? Okay, I'm going to go to the news report. Now, this is all nefarious because this woman shot this man, and this all started over a parking space.
New questions about a deadly shooting outside of a Walmart.
A father of three losing his life over a parking spot. And tonight, the woman accused of shooting him claims that she fired in self-defense. Local 10's Rochelle spoke exclusively to the victim's daughter. He's live down in North Lauderdale with what the video shows. Rush.
So you just mentioned this, and this is important. This woman is claiming self-defense. She'll have to argue that she had a fear, an imminent fear for her life. Well, tonight, we have the video, and you'll see it for yourself. And what we also have tonight are the words of the victim's daughter. And you'll see how heartbroken she is. The backstory on this case, she was estranged from her dad for many years. Recently, they were trying to rebuild their lives when he lost his life. We're going to start this with the video. The victim with the gray shirt, the woman with a gun. There is a standoff, and then the shooting. You can hear it.
He was a good man.
A daughter in tears. Amanda lost her 62-year-old father, Bart, shot in the stomach in a Walmart parking lot in North Lauderdale.
I just don't think anybody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot.
Cops say an adult female and the victim were involved in a verbal altercation over a parking space in the Walmart parking lot prior to the shooting.
I don't like to deal with death and like to talk about it at all. That's why I was very hesitant to do this interview.
But you are doing it. Why do you want to speak about your dad?
Because I want my dad to be remembered for who he was and not who the media is portraying him to be.
According to investigators, the shooter, the adult female, remained on scene, cooperated with detectives, and she told them the shooting was in self-defense.
He loved his country. He loved his country.
Bart served in the military. There are no charges in this case at this point. Amanda says she was estranged from her dad for many years, but recently they were working on repairing their relationship. And just like that, a life lost. And throughout the interview, you can see the pain on her face.
He moved down here 3 years ago with the intentions on rebuilding the relationship.
And during the time we spoke with Amanda, the daughter, she kept repeating to me, over a parking spot, over a parking spot. Nobody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot. I want to mention this again. No charges at this point. The investigation is ongoing. We're live in North Lauderdale. I'm Rosh Lowe, Local 10 News.
Okay, Rosh, thank you. A safety alert tonight as thousands flock.
Let me tell you all something. Let me just tell you all something. First of all, it wasn't over a parking spot. That's how the confrontation initially started, but it was over the fact that he kept advancing toward her. Okay, she didn't do anything that the police wouldn't have done. If the police tell you to stop, put your hands up, and you keep walking towards them, whether you have a weapon in your hands or not, they will shoot you dead. Okay, so she didn't do anything the police wouldn't have done as far as I'm concerned. And also the fact that she was backing away from him. Now, here's the thing. Some of them, and by them, I mean the people who don't look like me, the MAGA types, some of them are saying that she got out of the car with the gun already in hand. Well, yes, she did. But to that, I'll say this. Having a weapon in hand can still be deemed self-defense, provided your actions were a proportional and necessary response to an imminent threat of death or great bodily harm, and you were not the initial aggressor. Okay, so whether the shooting remains legally justified depends on several strict criteria under the law. First of all, that being reasonable fear. You must have genuinely and reasonably believed that deadly force was necessary to prevent immediate death or serious injury. The threat must be actively happening on the verge of happening, not a future or speculative threat. Second, proportionality and necessity. Your use of force must match the threat. Pulling or having a weapon in hand is classified as a use of deadly force, even if it's not immediately fired. And then, not the aggressor. Again, you generally cannot claim self-defense if you provoked the conflict or were attempting to commit a crime or escalated a verbal dispute into a physical one. And then it cannot be retaliation. The right to self-defense only exists when the threat is ongoing. Firing at a fleeing person or after the threat has been neutralized shifts the action from self-defense to retaliation. Okay, now laws governing the use of force, such as stand your ground provisions or castle doctrine, vary significantly by jurisdiction. And in this case, this incident happens in Florida. So I want you to pay attention to how they immediately started framing the man, Mr. Giuliani, I think is his name. They immediately started framing him as the victim. And of course, we'll say he's the victim because he was shot. But what I'm saying is they almost made it seem like he didn't cause this himself. Okay? Man loses his life over a parking spot. Well, you know, that was his decision to come after someone over a parking spot. So let's not act like that she just shot him and killed him because she was angry about a parking spot. He was advancing towards her when she was telling him and warning him not to. He saw the weapon in her hand. Did he think that perhaps he was going to overpower her and then take the weapon from her? Did he think he was going to disarm her? Because clearly that's what he thought. Clearly that's what he had to have been thinking, that, oh, I'm bigger and stronger. I'll just disarm her. Okay? Because what was all that about? He seemed like a whole bully as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, hey, sometimes this is what happens to bullies. Okay, so now with that all being said, let's go to some clips of what people are saying about this online. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Clearly understand the use of force or violence in a situation until that force or violence is directed at them. People are saying that this black woman should have let this man attack her, physically attack her, before she fired a shot. This man blocked her and followed her around the parking lot. Is approaching her as she's backing away and trying to run away from this man, and he is still approaching her. When do you let off a shot at that point? Y'all rally behind stand your ground law so much until that stand your ground law is used on you. So in the North Lauderdale Walmart parking lot, there was a dispute over a parking spot. Now, I don't want anybody to lose their life over a parking spot, but this is one of those situations that just got blown out of proportion. So in the videos, you can see a 62-year-old white man approaching this black woman who is unidentified, and in an aggressive manner as she's backing away and saying, "Back away, leave me alone." She then fires a shot. Now, they're automatically painting him as such an outstanding citizen and such a wonderful person already in the media. And the right-wing conservatives are already on top of this, calling for her arrest. She was not arrested. They're currently doing an investigation. I will follow up with the case and report more on it. Like, comment, follow, repost. All you men, listen up. Y'all gonna learn not to put your hands on these women out here because women buy tools now too, huh? Y'all gonna learn one way or another not to put your hands on these women out here because women buy tools now too. Because mommy had the mouse tool on her and blew his ass back, right? Now his family gotta be out here selling fish plates and putting his ass on a t-shirt. Y'all need to stop it out here. She made the reservation and booked his ass a one-way ticket. And I'm not saying it's funny that somebody lost their life over a parking spot, but y'all not gonna keep getting out here, putting your hands on these women, intimidating them, trying to overpower them, and thinking that ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Y'all think because they are women and they dainty and they small that you got the upper hand. Understand, they will blow your muffin cap smooth back. Understand, women are tired, and black women damn sure are tired. So one way or another, y'all gonna learn how to act right in these streets. It is nobody's job to retreat when they feel unsafe. They have the right to stand their ground until they are safe. And understand, they didn't stop making straps when they made yours, because women got their own tool set now.
So let's talk about this one, ladies and gentlemen, because again, same narrative. People don't understand how the law works in these types of situations, so we'll go over this. So what I'm going to do for y'all is I'm going to list the penal codes up here in this section of the ones, as we talk about them, of what you're going to be looking for to understand how this is going to apply. So the first one that you're going to be looking for is 790.10. That's the improper exhibition of a firearm in Florida. And yes, the moment that she stepped out of said vehicle, she's displaying her firearm. There's video that's already out there showing this. So she wasn't even provoked or anything like that. She's already doing this.
Hold on. Rolling Thunder says he never touched her. Well, here's the thing. She didn't have to wait for him to touch her. Okay? She didn't have to wait for him to touch her. That's what she didn't have to do. That's a whole man, and she's a woman. If he does touch her, if she had waited, he could have hit her so hard it could have knocked her unconscious. So there was definitely, in my opinion, a reasonable element of fear. I'm not going to stand there and wait for some grown man to put their hands on me. Please.
She's in violation. It's a misdemeanor. Next comes, because people want to bring this up, is we're going to have to go with stand your ground. Now again, in this one, you're mostly going to be looking at 776.013, Section 1, Part B. Now, that's only because people out here are saying, oh, she had a right to stand her ground. So, okay, if you do that, fine, and you have to use that one because it was unaliving force that was presented before there. So again, if you're using that, they say that you have to claim self-defense, right, in that part. So then you're going to have to go to 776.012, Section 2, in Florida. And nowhere in there, if he's staying so far away, which is almost a body length away, not using a weapon or anything like that, I'm sorry, you fall flat. She is going to be found guilty by that standard. So what is she going to be guilty of? You have two options. And that's literally going to be 782.04, Section 1, Section A, Part 1. Right there. Now, if you don't want to use that one, you can go.
Listen to Jim Bob sitting here trying to rationalize the bullshit under the law. Okay, calling out penal codes and whatnot. Now, he knows darn well if the shoe had been on the other foot and it was somebody who looked like him, took out somebody who looked like me, he wouldn't even give a darn about codes, penal codes, laws, and any of that. Okay, he needs to sit his big butt down somewhere. But let's let him cook.
With the next one right here of 782.07, Part 1. That's it. It does not matter what he said, if he threatened her or whatsoever. She used immediately an unaliving weapon, pew-pew, exhibited it, pointed it at him. She's already guilty. She is guilty the moment she has done this right here.
He sounds so stupid. Like I said, she didn't do anything the police don't do. Do you all remember that video from a couple years ago that I showed you all where the man seemed like he was hyped up on something? This was a Caucasian man. He was advancing towards the police, and the police officer kept warning him. Now, mind you, had it been a black person, the officer would have shot him right away. Okay, let's not ignore that fact. But because it was a white man, the police officer just let him keep getting closer and closer. Finally, when the man was like within an arm's length of him, he started to shoot at it. Okay, the man didn't have a weapon, but the cop did. So my thing is, it matters not that he didn't have a weapon. He was advancing towards her. He's bigger and stronger. A man can literally kill a woman with her own bare hands. So with that all being said, it was absolutely fair for her to use a gun on him, in my opinion.
Without being presented with unaliving force. Yeah, she could have felt threatened whatsoever. She could have had her own little personal thing going on up here, but she can't do that with that weapon. And therefore, she's guilty. I'm sorry. It's just going to be, what do they really want to charge her with? Do they want to hit her with 782.04?
If he says one more number, I'm literally going to scream. Okay, I mean, he's really done his homework, has he not? One of these TikTok attorneys.
Or do they want to charge her with 782.07? That's it.
How about 789?
About that black girl that shot that white man in the Walmart parking lot in Florida that's claiming self-defense. I just have a question, since we all done watched the video footage. How do y'all feel about her claiming self-defense? Now, Florida is another stand your ground state, but how do y'all feel about her claiming self-defense? Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Had that had footage of her getting her ass out of that car with that pew-pew, and there was only footage of that white man walking towards her them few times they caught him walking up on her and her backing away trying to go the other way but pointing the gun at him, I could very well seen her getting off with self-defense. But the fact that they were doing all of this back and forth, being petty and edit behind a parking spot, and she got in the car and got out of the car with the pew-pew, and it's on camera, that gives every bit of first-degree murder. Like, I feel like had there been no footage of her getting out that car, she'd be good. Getting in your car and getting out with a gun when there was already a brewing situation like that, it gives first-degree murder, because that is pretty much you.
Sounds so ridiculous. He said because she got out of the car with a gun, it gives first-degree murder? Does he hear himself? What a raccoon. Where are we getting these black people from? Where are these Negroes coming from? Now he's sitting here talking about it's giving first-degree murder. How? She was literally backing away from him. She showed him the gun to put distance between them, to fend him off, to frighten him, to make him go in the opposite direction. It was clearly a warning. First-degree murder? Is he serious right now? So he didn't see her backing away and telling him to get away from her and all of that. This dude is something else.
You premeditating this whole situation, like, almost like you planning this. It almost comes off like, I guess while they was arguing, it comes off like she probably got in the car like, yeah, I ain't going for this shit. She probably was like, she not having it, and hopped out that goddamn car with that pew-pew. I just feel like if that shit wasn't on camera, it would have been self-defense. Now, granted, I'm be honest, regardless of the fact she got out the motherfucking car with the gun in that, I mean, just being honest, I ain't saying she wrong. I ain't saying she wrong for I'm not, because I mean, I feel like there were too many angles of him like walking up on her. He just kept, I mean, I feel like she probably should have gave a warning shot, but to shoot him one time.
Warning shot in Florida? I'm sorry, sir, but there was a lady who got sentenced to 20 years for firing a warning shot at her estranged husband, who was in fact abusive. Now, they later came back and reduced it, but nonetheless, a warning shot. Please, you're going to get in just as much trouble, as far as I'm concerned.
Baby, and that being the shot that really just, damn, sister, you've been at the range. You've been practicing. I don't know. Listen, if they do give her stand your ground and give her self-defense for it, then hey, I ain't going to even lie. I wouldn't even feel, well, I don't feel bad at all, to be honest with you. I feel like regardless, he ain't had no right running up on that girl like that. But I just feel like she shouldn't have got in the car and got back out with it like that, because it gives, oh, I'm supposed to show this motherfucker. I ain't the one. You know what I'm saying? I hope.
Why do you need to fire a warning shot anyway when you have the gun in clear view and the person can see it? That's the warning right there. You don't need to fire a shot. If I pull my gun out and let you know that I have it, and you need to back the hell up and you don't, that's on you. I don't need to fire any shots to warn you further. Just seeing a gun is enough. If somebody pulls a gun on me, or they let me see that they have a gun and I don't, and I'm advancing towards them, I promise you I'm going to turn and go the opposite direction, because I'm nobody's fool. Okay? And I know that I'm not bulletproof. So I don't know what he was thinking. And clearly, he was definitely the aggressor and definitely dangerous. Because you have to ask yourselves, beloveds, what kind of person walks up on someone who's brandishing a firearm and they're not? Why would you continue walking up on that person? He must have been very dangerous, in my opinion. Okay, I would have thought he was clearly crazy and definitely would have been even more fearful. The fact that I'm sitting here holding this gun at him and he's still coming, he's not going to turn around and go the opposite direction. Oh, yeah, he's definitely dangerous as far as I'm concerned.
That this self-defense stuff don't create a shitstorm, like I hope that people can be responsible with these pew-pews, because I don't know if that girl has kids and stuff, but girl, you gone to jail. That man is dead, and your life could be over if they don't find you in the right for defending yourself. Like, girl, you could really be getting smoked. And I just think that this is not a good time to be even having to go in front of nobody. The judges and the white folks right now, just like, let this stuff die down, because it's almost like it feel like they're gonna be trying to make an example out of anybody black. Now that I will say, I do not feel like it would be smart for anybody that does carry to just be getting too trigger happy, because I definitely do feel like
He said to be getting too trigger happy. What makes this idiot think that she was trigger happy? Okay. He acts as though she hopped out of her car and just started letting off multiple rounds. Like she didn't just back up and tell this guy to get away from her constantly. Like, this man is, I don't know where we get these people from.
white folks is going to make it their business to try to make an example out of any one of us, especially if one of theirs is being eliminated. So all that carry, just be mindful.
Sir, somebody needs to make an example out of you as being the raccoon of the week.
Please just be mindful. That's all I'm asking. Okay.
So the New York Post is tracked. They decided to put that this white man, this violent aggressor, was an Army veteran to turn the ties against this black woman that defended herself, stood her ground in the state of Florida as she was being accosted by this violent white man over a parking spot. So basically, if you haven't seen the video, I posted it in an earlier video where this woman basically was walking away. She was trying to put distance between herself and this violent white man who was trying to, I guess, beat her up over a parking spot. She let him know she had a gun. She was on the phone with the police. She kept trying to put distance between herself and him, and he kept accosting her. So she fired one time. And this was in the state of Florida with these stand your ground laws, you know, the ones that white people love to use against black people that they shoot in the state of Florida. And there's no obligation to flee. And she let him know on multiple occasions that she had a gun and she was on the phone with the police, and he still tried to accost her. And she shot him one time, and that killed him. I just hate the way that the New York Post always does this shit, where they love to pretend that white people are the victims when this man literally was the aggressor. And surprisingly, people in the comment section where this picture was posted, where they said, "Woman fatally shoots Army veteran," weren't having this. They all said the exact same thing that I said. He was the aggressor, and this is the state of Florida. Stand your ground. All he had to do was just walk away. This was a parking spot. He could have walked. He could have moved down further, and that could have been it. But he wanted to beat her up over a fucking parking spot and got shot. And he's no longer here. Over a parking spot.
I have no sympathy for this dude, because if he just would have left that black woman alone, he'd still be alive. And people are going to be like, oh, he has a family. What about his family? He didn't care about his family. He didn't care about his life. Because if he did, he wouldn't have walked up on somebody with the weapon pointed at him. He wouldn't have died a very avoidable death over a parking spot. Are you serious? It's Walmart. There's an insane amount of parking spots. Just park a little bit further. You will be all right. And with him being an Army vet, he should have known that if somebody is going to pull out a weapon, they most likely going to use that shit. So I don't know what his thought process was. And that's the thing with white people like this. Extremely entitled, think that they can just wild out and do anything to everybody and nothing's going to happen. Even when they got a loaded weapon in their face, still think that nothing's going to happen. That is insanity. And that's to be expected in a situation like this, where a black woman is taking the life of a white man. The gun toters, you know what I'm saying?
He said the gun toters. Buddy must have thought he was Clint Eastwood. Okay, Dirty Harry, make my day. What was he thinking?
Second Amendment lovers, George Zimmerman defenders are up in arms talking about, oh, put her in prison. She deserves to go to prison. It's Florida, baby. It's a stand your ground state. The fuck you talking about? Like, do you expect her to wait until she gets kicked, punched, and like headbutted until she defends herself? You know what I'm saying? And like, if you look at the video, she's saying, hey, leave me alone. Go away. With the stick out. And he's still approaching. He didn't care about his life. He didn't give a fuck about his life, bro.
He darn sure did. He darn sure did. He brought that all on himself, and I don't care what anyone says. He did that to himself. Okay? Now, with that all being said, listen, prayers and condolences, but you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? That's how that goes. That's how that goes. He should have just gone on about his business. It's never that serious. Okay, I promise you it isn't. It is never that serious. Now, let's go to this report about this Venezuelan gang. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Ha! This is cruel. 57 Beige Fox said now he's Clint Deadwood. My goodness, I should not be laughing, okay? Let me just ask the Most High to forgive me for that, but it's all 57 Beige Fox's fault, okay? It's all nefarious.
Members of a Venezuelan gang have been indicted on federal charges for murder, kidnapping, other violent crimes. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eagers, 9 o'clock. The case involves the alleged kidnapping of 3 people in Farmers Branch in August of 2024. Officials from the Department of Justice say the 5 were trying to better their position in the gang. Fox 4's David Centendry has more on these indictments. David?
Hey guys, yeah, a federal grand jury indicted these alleged gang members on Tuesday. They had already been in custody on state charges related to a murder and kidnapping plot.
Those defendants charged in our indictment are all foreign nationals who have illegally been present at one time or another in this country.
5 Venezuelan nationals, including the 4 pictured here, now face federal racketeering and conspiracy charges related to a 2024 kidnapping and murder in North Texas. The suspects, alleged members of Venezuela-based gang Tren de Aragua, described by the federal government as an international criminal organization. The federal charges tie in to state capital murder and kidnapping charges from a Farmers Branch case in 2024.
A man and 2 kids had their hands zip-tied and were kidnapped by TDA members.
Nilzolt Petit was found shot to death. Police believe the 33-year-old was working with Tren de Aragua members on a nationwide ATM theft scheme, but failed to pay them.
Once the TDA members realized the man could not pay them any money, they pulled over by a bridge in Dallas and told the man to jump off. When he refused to do so and attempted to flee, a TDA member gunned him down, execution style, in front of the 2 children.
It looks to me like the federal government doesn't want to take any chances here.
Attorney John Helms is a former federal prosecutor not connected to this case. Helms points out the state case against one suspect, Carlos Zambrano Bolivar, resulted in a mistrial after a jury could not reach a unanimous verdict. Bolivar claimed he was a victim being sex trafficked by the gang. Prosecutors, however, claimed he played a pivotal role in the murder and kidnappings.
By charging it as a racketeering case, the federal government can bring in all kinds of evidence about the gang and its activities that maybe wouldn't have been able to come in a state court prosecution. All the defendants will be tried together instead of separate trials like you normally have at the state level. So that means that all of the evidence involving everyone will be in front of the jury.
During a news conference highlighting the connections to North Texas on Wednesday, the Department of Justice also announced multiple arrests in Chicago related to this victim in the red sweatshirt, allegedly kidnapped and murdered by Tren de Aragua members in May.
These violent murders should never have occurred.
I reached out to the Dallas County District Attorney's Office today for an update on those state charges, but at this point in time, haven't heard back. Steve, Heather.
All right, David Centendry, thank you.
That's a darn shame, honey. These thugs out here. Now, listen, Lillian X says, Queen, do you know what's going on with the Venezuelan president and his wife's status update? Beloved, you know, it's funny you should ask that because I literally was thinking about that last night. I said, now it's been over 6 months, or been about 6 months since they captured President Maduro and his wife. Excuse me, we haven't heard anything since they made their first court appearances months ago. So I don't know. And I was just thinking that they're probably torturing the hell out of them. Okay, just in my opinion. But also, due to that natural disaster over there in Venezuela, they're supposedly kidnapping the children, changing their last names, and then trafficking them. Okay, this is what's been reported since that earthquake. So it's a lot going on over there, and it doesn't seem like the U.S. is even trying to help them. I don't know. It's just all crazy. But also, Lillian X, I wanted to tell you, beloved, I wanted to tell you that I love your afro. Now, I didn't think that was you the other day. I thought it was a picture of your mom when she was younger or something. But that looks good on you. Okay, so now with that all being said, let's talk about this triple homicide. These devils are out here busy. Okay, woman arrested in connection to Jackson triple homicide. Now, I don't know what these thugs were doing as to why they took these people out of here, but let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. And then we have to talk about this football player's brother who murdered the mom. There's a whole lot of depravity going on, folks.
Well, we have new details on a third suspect charged in the triple homicide that has shaken a Jackson community.
12 News' Marie Minifield has the latest on the ongoing investigation.
25-year-old Michaela Young remains behind bars after a judge ordered she be held without bond during her initial appearance. Young is charged with capital murder in connection with the deaths of 25-year-old Kiana Weathersby, 30-year-old Erica Weathersby, and 2-year-old Kamari Gibbons. As more details emerge, investigators say Young allegedly drove Cornelius Carter and Jordan Carter, who also face capital murder charges, to the home on Queen Alexandria Lane.
One thing that we do know, that adults can make their decisions, but an innocent child, even the most hardened person, can rail against that. And so the outrage in the community over this, the sympathy for this family who has suffered 3 individuals, 2 daughters, a sister, a nephew, a grandchild, taken senselessly. There's no rationale for this.
According to Jackson police, Young drove away after hearing gunfire, leaving the 2 men behind. Investigators say she is charged under the legal principle that she participated in the commission of the crime. Police say the investigation is far from over, with additional arrests still possible. Investigators say this case has made an impact on officers, with some saying they have never worked a crime of this magnitude.
Yeah, because you're dealing with a child, and then you have some innocent people, and so the 2 sisters and a child. And that's been that's where we've had most of the outreach come from our community, and it's a senseless crime. So anytime a child and anyone's murdered here in Jacksonville is a concern, but at this time, the innocence of that child has really impacted our city. And like we said, we still like to thank all the community that has helped us and come in and give us statements and things of that nature.
As the investigation continues, a family is mourning the loss of 3 loved ones while searching for justice. A GoFundMe has been created to help cover funeral expenses for the victims. It's listed under DeMarco Bailey. In Jackson, Marie Minifield, 12 News.
Okay, that's just a darn shame. Absolutely so sad. Absolutely so sad, okay? Just all of these senseless killings, babies and everything, like it doesn't even matter at this point. There's no more codes to the streets, clearly. Okay, let's go to this next story. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
From newly released 911 calls, they detail the hours before the mother of a former Falcons player was found dead inside her townhome in Buckhead. Channel 2's Michael Seiden live now in Buckhead for us. So, Michael, you actually covered the former player at the beginning of the NFL season.
Yeah, George, I covered Calais Campbell during his rookie season. He played for the Arizona Cardinals, and while he's known for so many accomplishments on the field, he's also widely respected for his commitment to his family and his community. But tonight, I got to tell you, his family is dealing with an unthinkable tragedy after what unfolded here at this townhome community. This is how many people will remember Natil Campbell smiling beside her son, NFL veteran Calais Campbell. But Tuesday afternoon, police say the 71-year-old's life ended in a brutal attack, reportedly at the hands of her other son, 41-year-old Kiari Campbell. Officers responded to the Buckhead townhome for a welfare check after family members became concerned they couldn't reach Natil Campbell.
My brother's he's mentally ill. He's been diagnosed with
schizophrenia and some other things. He stays with my mother, and this morning, we trying to get a house. We can't get in our house.
When officers arrived, they say Kiari Campbell had barricaded himself inside the home. After taking him into custody, they found his mother dead. According to the arrest affidavit, Campbell's accused of stabbing his mother so violently that she was nearly decapitated.
This morning, he drove in her car, which is very unusual. He doesn't drive at all. But the neighbor caught her on camera. They drove off in her car, and we can't get in her house.
Court records show Campbell waived his first court appearance Wednesday. Police say they'd responded to the home 10 times since 2025, including an April fire where a family member reported Campbell set the blaze to, quote, rid the house of demons. The report also states his mother had been staying elsewhere after he took over the home. And tonight, the Campbell family has released a statement asking for privacy, but they did say they are dealing with overwhelming grief. They also said they're comforted by the belief that their family's been reunited with their father. Now, defense attorney Jay App told Channel 2 his client is innocent until proven guilty. We're live in Buckhead. I'm Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
That is absolutely nefarious. That is absolutely nefarious. Now, he stabbed her so badly that she was almost decapitated, okay? And then setting the house ablaze months ago, or however long ago it was, because he's trying to get rid of demons. This man clearly is suffering from demonic possession, in my opinion, okay, which some people would call mental illness. He'll likely be declared not guilty by reason of insanity or something like that. He needs to be put away somewhere, though, because he is definitely dangerous. Almost cut her head off. Okay, let's go to this story about the family searching for a missing Detroit woman who is, in fact, pregnant. Very concerning. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share.
After their loved one disappears. Denijah Myers is 21 years old and more than 6 months pregnant, and she has been missing for a week. Fox 2's Scott Wolchek is live on Detroit's west side, where she was last seen. Tell us more, Scotty.
Hey, Amy, yeah, you know what? This is a young, soon-to-be mother, 21-year-old Denijah Myers. She's actually a twin, and you're going to hear from her twin coming up very shortly. But this is around the area that she went missing, right? You've got 6 Mile, McNichols right here, and this is Rockford right next to Lazar. So she was staying in this area with her mom. She's got a lot of family out here. They say it is totally unlike her to be missing this long. She went missing last Wednesday, June 24th, around 10 or 11 in the evening. That is when families say people in the neighborhood last saw her on the street. Nobody's quite sure exactly what she was doing, but just a terrible, terrible thing to have this young lady missing, especially in this extreme heat. They don't know what's going on. Family did say that she does have a mental health condition that she is diagnosed with, and so that's just another layer of this that has them so worried. Take a listen to both of her sisters here.
She's a light. Everywhere she goes, everyone loves her.
Is it unlike her to not be picking up her phone and stuff like that?
This is unlike her. Most of the time, if she's upset or something, she'll call someone or ask to go somewhere else, and the family will know where she's at because she typically will go to an aunt's house or, aunt's house or my house.
If she's watching right now, what would you say to her?
To my sister, Denijah, twin, Ladybug, we love you and we want you home. We're waiting for you. You have people all over the world, from north, south, east, west, looking for you, waiting for you to come home, making sure you're safe. We just want to send this message to let you know that we're waiting on you.
Yeah, just a terrible, terrible thing. And Detroit police are investigating. So make sure you take a good look at this young lady's photo if you have seen her, because there's a lot of people that walk through here and have seen her at some point in that past week. So very, very sad situation, and hopefully she can be found safe. If you got a tip, make sure you call DPD. Amy, back to you.
Scott, you mentioned that she does have some mental health issues, has been diagnosed. Is she on medication that she currently then would not have because she's obviously missing?
Yeah, that's correct, Amy. That's just another layer to this whole thing, that she's away from any kind of medication that she might need to take, and people are worried in the sense of this is just so unlike her. And I mean, you got a missing pregnant lady who's been gone for a week. It's getting scary.
Yeah, it really is. All right. Well, we hope that you getting this story out there will really help get her home safely for her and her baby. Thank you so much.
Okay, I just want you to pay attention to how when the news reporters, specifically the woman, when they talk about Black people that are missing in our stories, they seem and sound so detached from the story. They sound so detached from it, like no empathy whatsoever. But when they report on the stories of the people that look like them, they always sound so much more empathetic. That's just something that I noticed. Okay, that's just something I noticed. Now, Nene said, wonder what's going on with Nick Reiner's trial. Well, let me just tell you, he's awaiting a preliminary hearing that is in fact scheduled for September the 15th of 2026. And that's to determine if he will stand trial for the December 2025 stabbing deaths of his parents, director Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner. Okay, he's currently jailed without bail and has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. Okay, so you know he has some mental health issues. Okay, so with that all being said, I'm going to the last clip, and then we're out of here, and I will be back later at about 6:30. Now, this is like the best read ever. This is like the best read ever. Okay, this woman went in on a Hispanic person because they were all up in our Black business. Okay, and I want you all to hear because I was laughing so hard. She literally read them for filth.
From the motherfucking fact that you got this little boy plastered all over your motherfucking page and have yet to wash his hair. Don't you think that you need to be more concerned with the concentration camps full of little boys and little girls that speak your same language, girls who are impregnated, being raped by your government? Don't you think you should be more aware of their situation than what the fuck we over here as Black people talking about? For a motherfucker who have Stockholm syndrome, you need to do better with your motherfucking kikis and ha-has. The last time I motherfucking checked, you were absolutely being hunted. Absolutely. Don't you think you need to be using your platform and your wasted energy to comment and maybe bring awareness to the fact that your people are under a heavy, nasty, unrealistic, unnecessary ethnic motherfucking cleansing? Yeah, you so motherfucking indoctrinated by the motherfucking white man, you over here worried about what Black folks talking about. You think we give a fuck about shopping overseas? No, bitch. We love Temu. We love Shein. We love all of them bitches. You know why? Because they are not flooding our communities and treating their meal tickets like shit. Because they cannot what? Flood the white communities with that bullshit. In a country where there is a 3-letter organization hunting your people for nothing other than the skin color that they possess, you over here worried about what the fuck we got going on. You think we give a fuck about what you got to say, and you haven't even tapped into your intellectual skills to use your voice, energy, or time in the right place? No, bitch, we are not. And just like the Hispanic community has done nothing to deserve that type of ethnic cleansing, discrimination, racism, the people overseas have done nothing to deserve that. So I will never understand a Hispanic racist. I will never understand you. Especially you ones that think that everybody's supposed to be thinking the same way you do because you're indoctrinated. No, bitch, we have intuition. You may possess it, but it is secondhand. This shit is potent. We know ball. We know evil from good. We don't group a whole ethnicity into one because of one. No matter how bad your massa try to instill that shit into us, it'll never be. We always have different ethnicities at the cookout. That's probably our downfall. But again, we are not like y'all. Cannot give us that title. The difference between us is we don't hate. We demand respect, especially when motherfuckers like you use a voice. My ancestors died to give you, to side with your own oppressor. Got to be more careful. My question to you, with your radio slow ass is, where are your priorities lying? Is it being so motherfucking traumatized by this nation that you wish to be so accepted that you would rather adapt to the animalistic characteristics of the motherfuckers oppressing you? Does it even remotely side with your own human fucking rights? And how is it that you want a ha-ha moment when the very fucking government that punishes people for not complying also give your people visas to come over here only to be hunted? How do you find anything funny when your people have to come from a different country to get a better anything because of said country? How is this a funny moment for you? Oh, you're indoctrinated. You think those people across seas who get the real world news, do you think they are very much aware of the aftermath that comes with coming to America for the dream? Aware of the reasons that they have to promote coming here, only for their people to come here and become a product of the abuse that led them up to this point? Don't you think that they are side-eyeing motherfuckers who perpetuate this animalistic way of thinking? So if I was you, I would get my motherfucking priorities straight. History and current events skipping your whole motherfucking timeline. So while y'all teaching the little boy how to speak Spanish, teach him real history. Teach him how slow you've been your whole motherfucking life and how you gotta wake the fuck up and remember that you ain't the same as them motherfuckers who don't like you or us. Teach him that. That's how you change the minds of people instead of being funny and stupid at the same fucking time. Dumbass.
Well, she certainly went all in. Now, the reason she went in so hard in the paint is because she did videos talking about the Asian blackout. And then this Hispanic person hops in and leaves a comment saying, where you think that store got it from? Like basically saying that we're supposed to be boycotting everything that's manufactured in China. And that is so not the point. Okay, that is so not the point. As I've said before, when they come talking about, oh, why are y'all still buying Jordans? Why are y'all still on TikTok that's owned by China? That's not even the point. We're talking about these stores and businesses in our neighborhoods that are so rude and racist and accusatory towards our people and so disrespectful. Okay, has nothing to do with that. Some of these people are so slow, they clearly miss the point and then come out just trying to insert themselves into Black folks' business. Okay, this has nothing to do with the Hispanic community. So why was she so concerned is all I'm saying. Okay, so anyway, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. And enjoy your strong end, okay, not your weekend, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got